All right, so anyway, what became my job? So it became my job February 2008. I was very big into, I need to share this story. So I started a daily newsletter to take what we learned in social media, and I sent it to, I say, 3,000 of my nearest and dearest friends, although it's much higher than that now, I'm sure. And it goes from everyone from the CEO to a couple of customer service reps that asked to be on it. And by doing that, we were sharing stories from places we already knew. So we started with blogs. When it became my job, I became responsible for our own internal forums and building that community. And I knew of other forums where they were already hanging out. So they were our first three. But then, by sending this newsletter out, someone wrote to me and said, oh, you have to check out this place called Twitter. So we're already looking at Facebook. But Facebook's not very impactful. You can't search it very well. People communicate on Facebook using status. At the time, that was completely closed. You couldn't search it. Now today, you actually can a little bit. There's still not much out there. It's not highly impactful for search. But Twitter, wow. I looked at that, my head was flipping, spinning for days. I had no clue how I was going to use that. But I knew it was, really strong. So Twitter's what we're most known for, but we're in all these different spaces. And we actually handle them very differently. So I'm going to tell you how we handle them, and I'll compare them to other people. Forums. How many people here work for businesses where their employees hang out in forums, or not employees, where their customers hang out in forums somewhere, whether it be on your site or somewhere else? So a few of you. Forums are about peer helping peer. So when you see forums, you will not see a member of my team very often, if at all. My goal would never to show myself in a forum. We want the peers helping each other. We want to groom that community. But what we will do is we will reach out to them privately, because almost every forum has a way you can private message people. And so that's what we do with forums. Blogs, I take a different approach than Dell does, so I'll give you both approaches. By the way, one of the things about social media is we're all sharing with each other. So when we started in this, we spoke to companies like Dell. Said, hey, you've been doing this for a while. Can you help us out? And guess what? They said, sure. It's a good example. I'm going to be flying up to Fidelity Investments next month to talk to them. Every week I speak to almost a Fortune 500 company at least once a week in doing some of this stuff. So anyway, what Dell does in blogs is if someone blogs about Dell, they'll actually respond in the comments. Here's your answer to your question or the problem you're having. We actually take a much different approach. And this goes from the way we started. When we started, we would call them up and say, hi! We still do that to this day. That's our first way of interacting with someone. If we can figure out who the heck they are, we will actually call them. Now there's a few reasons for it. We get a nice surprise factor. Ultimately, it might require some two-way conversation. We can have it right there. And we've found customers love it. So our first goal will be to call. If we can't find their account, we will email them if there's an email address somewhere on the blog. And if that doesn't work, then we will post to the blog to say, hey, we'd like to help you out. By the way, if you ever get to the point where you're posting to blogs, chances are you're going to do what we did. And the reason why I have 11 people is it creates a whole new communications method because you need to have them email you. So now all of a sudden you just opened up a whole other email channel. I get 6,000, 7,000 emails a month through that channel. I'm fine with it because ultimately people might have a problem. Gartner has a great study. 50% of the people, when they have trouble with something involving a company, they actually Google it before they call you. 50%. So they Google it, get a blog that maybe has either bad information, incorrect information, or even maybe has correct information for what that person was experiencing. They need a way to kind of get to you. Yes?
You said you call